So it's going to be a debate on CRT. Should we look at some of this guy's TikToks? I'm trying not to poison the well, but this guy sounds like insufferable. He sounds like a combination of Sargon and Count Dankula. Not because of his voice. It's the way he enunciates the shit he says. Yeah, here we go.
How you gonna steal somebody's country and then be homeless in it? Maybe y'all need to go steal another one.
This is the danger of critical race theory.
What?
It ignores all other social factors and holds people guilty or innocent based on colour. This young lady refuses to give homeless white people money because they're pink and therefore are guilty of oppression. They might be sleeping rough, but that doesn't really matter because economic standing can't change one's complexion.
So he thinks critical race theory is non-intersectional anti-racist advocacy? What?
Fans of the theory forget one thing. Most pink people are closer to the homeless man than to Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, which means they're next door to desperate.
Bezos.
A cunning manipulator might seize upon their desperation and encourage
This is what I mean about how he talks, so you see what I mean? He's trying to talk like some kind of warrior poet, like a philosopher king.
them to do things that only the desperate would do, and that would go badly for us all. Hit the plus sign for more common sense content.
Common sense content. Why is it always... Wait! His most recent TikTok is responding to my TikTok? Oh no.
Trans women and cis women are, like, different in some respects. They're both equally women.
That it's been a while. Sorry about that.
Hey, this is a day ago. So, this was done after he knew he was debating me, right?
Life caught up with me and I needed to take a break. But I'm back with some exciting news. I'll be appearing again on the YouTube channel Modern Day Debate at 8 PM Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, Friday the 2nd of July. And I'll be debating with a YouTube legend, the man they call Vaush.
Oh.
We're not going to agree on anything, but the conversation should be a lot of fun, because we'll be discussing critical race theory. So check out the debate if you've got the time, or watch the video later when it's uploaded.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. With the preempt, I usually expect them to be like, we're going to talk to this pedophile rapist. Okay, that's nice. If he was nice before, we should be nice before. Though I maintain that I think he's trying to sound like a philosopher king. We see one that's got a lot of, oh, he's a black person, so it's probably going to be about a race thing, just judging from...
But I don't see anything wrong with casting a black person instead of a white person.
Allow me to explain. Queen Anne Boleyn is a historical figure, one of the wives of Henry VIII, and represents more than herself. No Queen of England at that time would have been brown. Because of the rampant discrimination at that time, and believing otherwise casts history into the garbage.
Okay. Actually, hold on. Somebody asked me for hot takes before. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a hot take. First of all, there are two things that I believe, and none of them, they're not contradictory with each other. Okay? First of all, European history is not white history. There have been tons of non-white people throughout history, okay, in Europe that have had a significant influence on the development, the culture and society, and blah, blah. That being said, trying to make a historical piece more progressive by making characters which we know to be white black is really weird, and to me, it serves the opposite purpose of what it's supposed to. That's very, very strange to me. The exception would be stuff like Hamilton, where it's obviously like a big thematic, like, contrast, which, you know, I get. But to me, it comes off as really performative tokenism, like really, really strange. Like, oh, this isn't your mom's historical piece, okay? This isn't your grandpa's historical piece. This is a woke historical piece. We took a character who we know historically was white, we made him black, and that's all we did, by the way. Haha. If you actually want to make a historical piece, like, relatively progressive, why not have them address or be critical of some of the gender or racial dynamics in that point in time, you know? Like, why not, like, frame that point of history in a way that just gives some attention to issues of the era that we often overlook in retrospect? Because contrary to what you might believe from historical pieces, people did talk about racism and sexism back then. They didn't call it racism or sexism, But the concept of like systemic discrimination based on how people were born, that's always been something people have chafed against, and historical pieces will often completely ignore the issue because they don't want to deal with like heavier political issues, you know? But yeah, like I don't know. This is very very contextual too, because some characters we don't know the races of them historically, and maybe it's not as much of an issue or whatever.
I'm queer, and I am ready to make every straight person in my general vicinity slightly uncomfortable.
Pretty sure they won't care.
All right, hold on.
This is what happens when you live on the internet, read political news from only one side of the aisle, and don't talk to anyone outside of your bubble. Being part of Team Rainbow is no longer an act of rebellion. Check the culture. It's normal and accepted now. National governments, major corporations, and the general public are on your side. Are you really the counterculture? Or the new establishment? We live in some of the most tolerant societies on Earth. You might want to protest in a culture that's less tolerant.
Alright, it's pretty dumb. What? Okay, I'm seeing a habit of like responding to joke content and taking it very seriously, and then responding to it as though everything the person said was not only serious, but that all of the subsequent implications that he infers from them are also stated seriously, like that kind of thing, you know? Like, I doubt the original TikTok there was serious.
Force you into having sex, opposed to you immediately consenting.
Wrong again, madam.
What?
Honestly, I don't know where these ideas are coming from. Argument is that men don't like women who put out too easily, would much rather a woman took some convincing. He reads this as men's desire to impose on women, to force themselves upon them, as though that were part of the fun. Someone who speaks fluent male, I can assure you that this isn't true. Men who seem too eager look desperate or manic. It is off-putting in any scenario. Perhaps this woman's ideas are not popular. It must be countered at every turn, lest they take root and begin to shape people's opinions. You can counter her line of reasoning with a single statement.
I don't even know what we're saying here.
Not.
Hey, by the way, maybe I'm in the minority here. I fucking hate chasing people, okay? If I say, if I like a person, I'll tell them, and if they don't tell me back or if they play hard to get, I'll move on to the next person, okay? I have no room in my life for this ongoing courting process where you cat and mouse your way around, like, being open and honest with your feelings, all right? I have no time for that. That shit feels like some high school bullshit to me. I'm not doing it, okay? Yeah, that's my Sigma male take, all right?
Harder to come out as conservative than it is to come out as gay is ridiculous.
You need to hang out in my circles, sir.
Okay. In some parts of America, it actually is harder to come out as conservative than it is to come out as gay. That's just a good thing, though. That's just a good thing, though. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, that's based. Oh, 1.3 million. Uh-oh.
I want to know where all y'all old-fashioned men are, because we like you.
Old-fashioned men are mostly gone, because feminism destroyed them.
There we go!
You define a traditional man as one who looks after his wife and children. But feminism taught us that this was unnecessary, because women could do this for themselves.
Wait. Feminism taught men to not look after children? What?
Traditional marriage is also a bust. No-fault divorce makes it easy to destroy, and husbands are often ruined in divorce courts. There is also the problem of cultural imbalance. Women are free to do whatever they want, but men on the dating scene are still defined by gender roles. A woman can tell a man what he must be and do, but if a man tells a woman what to be or do, he's a misogynist.
Ooh, unfortunately, the problem is, this is one of the reasons why the left has to be way better at, like, closing the holes in their systems, because there's a grain of truth here. The idea that men are expected to conform to gender roles with their behavior more than women are in a lot of social spaces, especially in, like, big cities or progressive areas, stuff like that is true. The problem is, like, yeah, you can extrapolate a lot of bad stuff from this.
If you're cis and you haven't put your pronouns in your bio yet, why?
Papa Gut does this too, where, like, all the big shit that he gets, it feels like it's quote tweeting, or what's the term, stitching with, like, 14-year-olds, you know?
Even if a hate crime is committed by another minority, white supremacy...
You might want to reconsider those words.
God damn it. I'm going to disagree with like most of the left-leaning people he responds to because he picks out people. Because he picks out those people.
Can someone explain to me what's wrong with white pride? Because I'm so proud.
Happy to oblige. Pride should be reserved for accomplishments, not for states of being. You had nothing to do with being pink, so it's not an accomplishment. Being proud of your colour is as daft as being proud of having 2 arms and 2 legs. We ought to set a goal and struggle to achieve it. There are some who claim that white majority cultures have done great things, which is true. Most of those great things had nothing to do with you. Maybe the Catholics have the right idea. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. And it is
All right. It's still a skeptic argument, but at least he's not like a covert Nazi or anything. That's good. No, that's good. One of the things that's like super tiring is that like I have arguments with people, you know? And I have arguments with people, and I feel like so many of the conservatives I talk to are just like 3 internal epiphanies away from being like card-carrying Nazi party members, you know? So it's nice to talk to conservative-leaning people who I don't think are, who I don't think are right on the borderline. So, in case anyone's wondering what the response to that is, the argument is that black pride and gay pride and stuff exists not just because people are proud of those identities, but because people are celebrating their identities in spite of oppression. I mean, I do think that, like, in a world with no homophobia or transphobia or whatever, that there wouldn't be a need for pride, and in fact, there shouldn't be any pride. Likewise, in a world with no racism, there shouldn't be, like, a Black History Month, or there shouldn't be, like, a June, because you perpetuate the otherization by maintaining the narrative that there's like an oppression to overcome when there really actually isn't anymore, you know? How are men to behave in strict gender roles? Well, the problem is, you know that thing he said about how women can tell men how to behave, but men can't tell women how to behave? Unfortunately, that's 100% true. In any social environment, in like vaguely progressive circles, women have a ton of leeway in the prescriptive statements they can make about men and how men should be and what men shouldn't be and blah blah, and that's considered like totally fine, totally above board. But with men, that is not the case. If you start making comments like that about women, like ooh, yeah, oi, 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 yeah, yeah, the how can she slap video, yeah. I wonder if we end up agreeing on a lot of stuff here. Well, so this debate, we'll be taking it chill, okay? Yeah, we're gonna try to be very measured with our rhetoric here. That was a pretty great conversation. I didn't expect, man. I think I might actually be like Anglophobic because I was so I heard the voice and I was just expecting it to be like a Sargon thing. I'm actually Anglophobic. It's actually getting to me. Oh God, it's like I hear the accent, you know. Surprisingly good faith. Oh, that dude, I actually had forgotten what like talking to a perfectly good faith person felt like. That guy, yeah. I everything that came out of that guy's mouth was unless he's like doing some hardcore 9 trillion D chess or some shit. Everything that guy said was totally honest. It was really, really, really respect that. I'm sure we disagree on like a ton of stuff. I mean, we clearly obviously do, and we assign different threat levels to various social problems, of course, but yeah, it's cool talking to an honest guy. Yeah, that was still fun. Yeah, still a Tory. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but it was good. I'd be happy to talk with him in the future. Well, yeah. Anyway, well, I can feel my Anglophobia melting away. You know, now the accent is actually quite pleasant. That's nice. I guess I'll ask you guys some questions. I can't talk about the UK stuff that much, or I answer some questions from you guys. I can't talk about UK stuff that much because I know that never make the mistake of like getting too hard into the nitty gritty on the structure of a country that you're not from, but the other person is. That's very, very difficult. That's very, very tough to do. How much weight have you lost now? Like 40 pounds. Is that the question you want? Yeah. Do you think you planted some seeds? I don't know. I'd be happy to talk with him in the future though. Why'd you call Japan Western? In a lot of ways, because a lot of Japan's social and economic and political structures got made by the United States global north, maybe not western, maybe like global north, like develop. Japan gets lumped in, you know. Yeah, they're part of the G7. What does western even mean? Like white, it doesn't mean much. Did you steal his accent during the debate on purpose? Yeah, it's called what's it called? Like mimicking or mirroring, when you try to like make the person like you more by trying to talk the way they talk. Yeah. I did recommend Ken to debate. Oh, you did, Leophilius. Oh, that went really, really well. Nice. Subscribe to Cider Improvement Channel. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'll keep it in mind. Or can you email me if you remember? Anyway, I think that conversation went well. I think so that the tone of that conversation is something that I always struggle a little bit to express, because obviously, like, that conversation, at no point did that conversation warrant like blood. Obviously not. So sometimes it's really tough to know, like, how do I push back against this? Like, how much do I, what's the appropriate tone? Because I'm used to conversations where condescension is always justified, you know? Like, if I'm talking to, well, like somebody like Sargon, then, I mean, I can, whatever, you know? But not so much here. So it's a little bit more difficult for me, but, yeah. That's fucking sad, being used to bad faith. Yeah, of course. Anybody who like debates conservatives is going to be used to talking to people in bad faith. Like with them being in bad faith when's the Soygon debate? I don't know. I'll work. Do you think your pre-show talk made a difference? Yeah, he was friendly. That makes a huge difference. Hey, Stephen Ryan. Hello, Kaya was mentioned several times. Yeah, people being friendly makes a huge difference. I don't know how many of you were around before the debate started, but he did a TikTok that was about the debate today, and he was quite kind to me in the description. And that actually goes a long way. Being kind about or about a person can indicate a lot, like tonally. You know? I don't think you emphasized enough that the positions he typically argues against are fringe. So I agree with that, but the thing is, it's very hard to argue against a person's intuitive belief in the frequency that they encounter a given idea. So if a person's on social media and they're on TikTok and they see nothing but like dumb fuck lefty talking points from 17-year-olds, it can really feel like that's the modern left, you know? Trust me, I'm on TikTok. I see what they're like, okay? It can really feel like that's the modern left, you know what I mean? It can be really difficult. Like, how do you tell a person, like, actually, no, that's just a tiny minority, and actually the rest of the left is super cool, you just can't see them? It's really tough to do. So it's something that you have to push for lightly, I think. You know? Why do you think he used the trans woman clip of yours on his TikTok? Probably just because that one went viral recently. I don't get a transphobic vibe from him at all. I mean, he could be. It's not. It surprised me if he was, though. You know.